In the beginning, nerds created the PC and the Mac. Now, the PC was formless and empty, devoid of all entertainment except Minesweeper and Solitaire. And then Blizzard said, "Let there be StarCraft II," and there was StarCraft II. Blizzard thought that this was good, and so they separated the noobs from the pros. Blizzard called the noobs Bronze League and the pros Diamond League. But the noobs of Bronze League entered the Forbidden Internet and removed from the Tree of Onage a mighty hand grenade apple, and soon the knowledge of macro and micro entered into their thoughts, and this angered the mighty Blizzard. The mighty Blizzard came down to the noob's fearless leader, the Thinking Gamer, and bestowed upon him a tablet with the commandments that all Bronze Leaguers must adhere to at all times. The Thinking Gamer went on to YouTube, and in his infinite wisdom, he shared with all the 10 Commandments of Bronze. The first commandment is, "Thou shalt not max out your build queues." Do not sit here and have 5 Marines training. If you only have 1 barracks with 5 Marines training, cancel those Marines and use that money to build another barracks. Alright, do not max out worker production either. Always keep 1 or 2 building at max. The same applies to research. There is no reason to sit here and research multiple things at once. It takes too long, and that money can be used for something much more urgent. Thou shalt not build too few military structures. This applies to 1. If you have 1 barracks, you're not going to be able to pump out units very quickly. Alright, what this does for Terran and Protoss, they need to have enough to not float resources. Alright, and Zerg needs to have enough hatcheries and queens. Alright, having enough enables you to recover quickly from losses. Thou shalt not have too much defense. Static defenses are useful. Photon cannons, bunkers, turrets, but they are not more useful than a mobile unit. Opponents can walk past or outrange your defenses. Thou shalt not float resources. Too many minerals and gases. Alright, more units, more buildings, more tech, expand. Always be spending your money. Unless you are capped at 200 out of 200 and have all research, avoid floating money. Thou shalt not research and build everything. You should have a clear goal in mind. Do not build stuff or units that don't achieve that goal. When you build or tech something, it should be for a reason. If you're just building something to build it because you have money, you're doing it wrong. Build it on something that you need. Do not expand too early. Thou shalt not do that. Never expand too early. In some builds, it is a good thing to do, but until you get the hang of it, do not expand early. It will leave you weak. Wait until you have your opponent on defense or contained in their base, and then expand. And do not forget that the Terran can lift off and float. Thou shalt not have poor expansion placement. Do not build a command center over here. Do not build a hatchery over here. Look how far they have to go from the minerals. If there's a rock there, kill the rock before you build a freaking thing. Unless you're Terran, then you can float your thing into place after you destroy the rock. But if you're Protoss, do not build out here. It completely destroys your income. Thou shalt not take eyes off of the fight. If you have units out here and they are fighting enemies, do not take your eyes off of it. Do not come back to your base to research or build more units or anything like that. Fight the fight. Do not take your eyes off the fight until it is over. Macro is never important than your micro. Don't ever forget that. And don't be afraid to float your resources while you're fighting, okay? You can break that commandment in this instance. Thou shalt not split your forces. Do not take half your forces and go this way and half your forces and go this way. Because if your opponent has all of their forces grouped together, you are going to get destroyed. They can easily come and wipe out this group, and then you have nothing but this little group left, and he can easily come and wipe out that group. Thou shalt retreat. If you are outmatched, do not be afraid to retreat back to your base while you're pumping out reinforcements. By the time they get back to your base, you will have reinforcements, and more than likely your opponent will turn back and not follow you. Do not sit there and lose all your units when you know that you're outmatched. Thou shalt always scout. Always, always, always do it. Always scout. I have videos on scouting. Go look at them. Always do it. If you do not, it leaves you clueless and you don't know what you're doing. And always have workers or some kind of unit on the Xel'Naga towers so that you have some kind of excellent warning system going on. Thou shalt have their health bars on. If you notice, I have my health bars on. I have mine set to always on, which you can go into the menu and do that. Alternatively, you can press Alt and hold Alt, and it'll show your health bars if you don't like having them on all the time. This allows you to micromanage your units, pull weak units to the back, and that stuff, that kind of stuff. I also have a video on micromanagement. Please watch it if you don't know what I'm talking about. And the last commandment, thou shalt not try to learn everything all at once. Take it a step at a time. Learn one thing, go in the game, put it to use. Get it down, then come back and learn another one. You can't learn everything about this game in one game. Don't expect to be good overnight. It takes practice. Playing StarCraft is like learning a language. You can't expect to be speaking it fluently the next day. It takes practice and practice and practice until you become fluent. I hope you guys find this useful. Remember these commandments and you shall do well. Thinking Gamer out.